What does it do, you two? Welcome back to another episode of Scotty Says. You know who it is. And this is a special episode. This is episode 50. The milestone. This is part C in the trilogy. The Rams Super Bowl championship trilogy. And I hope you've seen them all. Part A, game balls. Part B, champagne problems. And part C, game analysis. Super Bowl 56, game analysis. Part C in the trilogy, episode 50. I hope you're hungry, because this plate is full. Fully loaded like the bins. This one is like the potato with the cheddar and the bacon and the sour cream and chives and a little bit of wasabi. And so I'm going to go into episode 50 the way I went into episode 1 with Rams Talk Rambo. Now, over the 50 episodes, we've covered a few topics, but primarily it's been sports, commentary with a little twist, and primarily it's been Rambo. And so, part A in the trilogy was game balls. Part B, champagne problems. And this part C, in-depth Super Bowl game analysis. And you know how I like to roll. So, before we get to it, and we do need to get right to it because there is plenty to cover, I just want to start by saying congratulations to OBJ Sticky Fingers, who it is reported has successfully completed his surgery and has started his rehab, and in addition, welcomed the birth of his first child. So congratulations, brother Odell. And I have a feeling OBJ will be with the Rams next year, and I certainly hope that is the case. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he does coming back, rehabbed and ready to roll, healthy, the next time he's able to get back out on the field. And he'll be a welcome addition when he gets back. Now, let's get into the analysis. The Los Angeles Rams, Super Bowl champions, just as I predicted, and I'm looking for them to run it back, as Mr. McWonder said at the rally. But let's get into the game. Super Bowl 56 at the Palace in Inglewood, SoFi. And it was warm that day, 90 degrees. And the Palace, $5.5 billion, but I understand they don't have any need for air conditioning. It was a little warm in there that day, I bet, though. They also, even at $5.5 billion, still managed to not quite find a way to put the grass in. But that's another subject. The game gets underway. And the first thing I want to say is, it seemed like there was extra fluff before the game. Now, there's always fluff, and it's an hours-long build-up. We all know that. And the commercials and all that. But this game, it seemed like even after the point at which the game was supposed to start, they were still coming with more fluff. And yet another song, and wait, we have to... And then, even after all that, then The Rock shows up. And I'm like, the bicep program that you're on, is that just from eating properly and doing free weights? Really? Man. Anyway, what was the point of that? Okay. another thing. It seemed to me that the NFL and the various owners seem to have gone to some great extent to make a show of, for example, in the end zones, it says "end racism," which is a wonderful concept. And, it's printed there. On the helmets, the back of the helmets, it's there, different little slogans like that. And they had all this singing, you understand. You saw it. Oh, it was some beautiful singing. And I'm going to tell you what now. Mary, Mary, those ladies, whoa. I was thinking about that the other day, how just talents can come in so many different varieties. But if you can sing like an angel, you pretty much can't be denied. Like if you can open your mouth and just sing and Mary, Mary, whoo. And when they did the anthem there, I tell you what, it had a few eyes moist. They sound like angels. But then, beyond that, it almost just felt like there was an overindulgence towards symbolism. While at the same time, when you look around, you see there's no one black head coach. And so I hope, because they collude, but that's another subject. But I just hope people see beyond that the little shows of symbolism don't change anything. It's sort of, in a way, it's sinister, diabolical, really. But I digress. And so, I'm watching as the guys finally get out on the field and they're kind of about, going through their finals pregame business. And I see Ashes. Ashes is running around, yelling and jumping and screaming and high-fiving and hugging and getting in the face mask and pumping up each and every defender. And then he gets to Taylor the Rapper. And look, there's Taylor the Rapper, and he's back and he's playing. And he gets to Taylor the Rapper and he gives him a little, like the tip of the finger dap, and runs off. It goes on about his way. And I'm like, wow, that was a distinct difference in cordiality there. I couldn't help but notice. Anyone else see that? Just me, huh? Mm-hmm. I will say I did like the Halle Berry skit that she did. I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, it's kickoff now, and I didn't care for Cincinnati sent out 4 of their captains to the coin flip, and McGenius only sent Maddie from the D. And I thought, I don't know about that. It seems to me it would be better to send your team, your captain, or a group, solidarity versus just one guy, And then I just felt like the team representing is going to win the coin flip. I just have a feeling. And in fact, that's what occurred. And then, right on cue, I believe it was Collinsworth, says, it's a funny stat. The team that wins the coin flip loses the Super Bowl the last 7 times or something like that. And I was like, well, that is kind of weird. So, out of the gate, after an initial first down, Cam is stuffed on a first down run. This was going to be a theme for the evening. And Maddie, out of the shotgun, protected, is sacked, creating 3rd and 17. And Darrell Henderson, welcome back, takes a concession carry, and the Rams have to punt. Cincinnati takes over. Burrow comes out throwing. 8-yard completion. 2nd and 2. Run play, 3rd and 1. Run play, stuffed. stuffed on 3rd and 1. Suddenly, early on, right out the gate now, young Zach Taylor over there on the Cincinnati sideline has a decision to make. He decides, hey, 4th and 1, it's the Super Bowl. Let's go for it. He does. Now, first of all, probably not the wisest call. I get that you want to be aggressive, but it is the bowl. It's early, and you need to have a little bit, I think, of discretion early on. Joust a little bit, like a big heavyweight pride fight. Yeah, set him up, move a little bit, put a couple on him, back away. All right, so here's my point. Zach Taylor said, no, give me the gusto. All right. The play call on 4th and 1 actually is designed well. He runs Higgins in motion. Burrow, instead of throwing it to an open T. Higgins in the flat, in motion, open the whole way, throws into traffic incomplete. Turnover on downs. So it was a double whammy. Questionable call / play call. But then I kind of like the play call. But then the quarterback, bad decision. And so now Rams got the ball near midfield. And so I'm thinking, all right, already now that's a good way to get the momentum going in the right direction. Rams need to cash it in. But on that defensive stand, you got to give big credit to A'Shawn Robinson on that 3rd and 1 run and to Ernest Jones, super rookie, on breaking up that 4th down play, despite being the wrong receiver being thrown to. So, Rams take over. They've got the ball, and not much on the ground. Again, a recurring theme. Cam gets stuffed, but Matty scrambles for 7. Okay, and then on 3rd down, still in the pocket, in the gun, Matty hits Cup in the flat. And Cup, shifty, yak, makes something happen out of nothing. And that's the thing about Super Cup is, I just call him Soup, is Soup. You don't have to give him much. He just needs a little space. And, Soup doesn't drop passes. And then Soup creates mad yak. Okay? That sounds like something people like to drink. Mad yak. Okay? So Soup is doing his thing. And McGenius is surprising me so far, I have to say. I'm noticing. Look at the balance this man is trying to employ. He's consistently attempting to run the ball, even though Cam Akers is getting nothing. And the only thing I can really say that I would say maybe to try is mix in a little more Darrell Henderson, a little more Sony Michel, because Cam Akers came back so big, so tough, so strong in the beginning. But the reality is, what he came back from was a major thing. And with adrenaline and youth and will and determination to get back to where he got back to, is magnificent. But it seemed like he did not have breakaway ability. He couldn't shed tackles, no burst. He seemed to be laboring. And I'm not even talking about the fumbles, although I just did, granted. And so I'm thinking, I like when McGenius shows that resolve, even when the result isn't immediately there. That's what I'm thinking early in the first quarter now. Rams are driving now. And then after a little swing pass out to Henderson in the flat, Matthew Stafford with a dime, a dart, 2 sticky fingers, OBJ, end zone, touchdown. touchdown, the first touchdown of Super Bowl 56, 7-0 Rams. Let's go. Taylor, your decision has backfired and bit you like a Bengal tiger. And now the offense for Cincinnati goes back to work, and Joe Burrow comes out throwing from 3 different variations of the shotgun, none of which gets him nothing. 3 and out, and the ball is coming back to LA. But then LA has to punt it right back. And so now Zach Taylor goes to the power run with Mixon. And I'm thinking at the time, this is probably Taylor's best chance to upset the Rams. And it was on a Mixon run initially where the Wedler, trying to make that tackle, got caught up in that power grind by Mixon. And that's where he tore that pec. Early on in the game, in the first quarter, tore that pec. And how much impact this guy made from that point on with the torn pec is remarkable to me. Now, he was wearing the green dot, so he had that added responsibility, and I believe he took that added responsibility to heart, that he didn't want to let the team down with that kind of responsibility, wearing that dot. And so despite having a torn pec, this dude made several critical tackles, and I'll point out a couple of them as we go along. And so then on the very next play, Chase scorches, sets a fire, lights ablaze, burns him up, creates nothing but ashes out of number 5. Ashes Ramsey, ashes blowing in the wind. And just like that, Cincinnati, the kitty cats are in business. So first down at the LA 11, and a pop from the Wedler on Mixon forces an incomplete pass out in the flat. And I'm like, oh, to still be laying the lumber on folks with that pec torn like that. Now the Rams are up 7-3, and we're starting the second quarter. It's 2nd and 11, and Matty from the D is in the gun. And as he feels the pocket pressure, he steps up and he appears to throw a poltergeist strike. But no, it looks like the defender gets hit in the face mask by the haunted gift. Once again now, an opponent has refused to accept a haunted gift from the poltergeist, but he tried to chuck it to him. And sometimes I think the defenders can't believe, ask Tart, they can't believe how perfectly the pass is coming right to him, like it was meant just for them. And they can't believe it, and it hits him in the hands. In this case, the face mask. The haunted gift dropped harmlessly to the turf. But it gave me an ominous feeling of what was yet to come. Because as I predicted before the game started, there will be poltergeist strikes. And there were. So, and here's the thing with the poltergeist gift. When he throws you one, see, and he will, you got to catch it. You got to accept it. You got to hold on to it. Because if you don't, why, he might just carve you to bits. Right after that, ask the old goat. He can tell you about it. You can ask any number of folks who've seen it in action. Ask Tart and them damn Niners. But in this case, you could ask Cincinnati in the Super Bowl. Because right after they dropped the haunted gift from the Polty, right away, Matty from the D commenced to carving folks up with darts and dimes. And the drive got underway right on cue. Dime to OBJ on a crossing route, 35 more yards for sticky fingers. You can't let Posey off the hook. And OBJ is balling out. He's already got the touchdown. He's already got 2 catches for 52 yards and running free like there's nothing that they can do about it. Looking like he's about to blow the lid off the bowl. And then on 2nd and 4 from the 11, they biting on the play action now. That's the brilliance of the run and balance. 2nd and 4 from the 11, play action, misdirection, Cooper Kupp, Super Cup, touchdown, touchdown, LA. And now it feels good, like Tony would say. Except Johnny Hecker with the inexplicable, what in the hell was that? Are you doing some funny Vegas nonsense kind of junk, missing, bobbling, dropping the hold on the extra point? And so it's 13-3 Rams. And you know somehow that missed extra point is going to factor in heavily in the outcome. And then right on cue, Cincinnati drives the ball. Heavy dose, Mixon. And I'm thinking, this is his best, Zach Taylor, this is his best route to try and upset the Rams. So right on cue, they drive down to the Rams 7-yard line, 1st and goal. Heavy dose Mixon. They run stuff on 2nd and goal. Mixon again. And the Rams all bite. All the defenders bite on the run. Trickeration over the top. Mixon with the pass. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Touchdown on the trickeration. 13-10, LA. It was a 75-yard Cincinnati drive. Took up 7 minutes. It's 13-10 LA now. LA gets the ball back. They run with Cam. There's only 5.5 minutes left in the half. 2nd and 4, and it's complete to Van Jefferson. 1st down, and LA is trying to drive and trying to get something going and answer back. And so, once again, Cam is stuffed on 1st down, 2nd and 9. You need to throw. And so, Matthew Stafford throws a little bit behind OBJ, but it looks like his foot sort of snags in the turf. He plants funny, it steps wrong, the turf monster, the football gods. I don't know how you describe it other than it was heartbreaking to see him go down. And he would not return, as you know. And he was wide open on that particular pass that led to the injury. And so it felt like a real body blow. A pall, as they say, went over the place. And it sucked the wind out. And there's great footage of Dante Dion along the sidelines trying to encourage the defense. Hey, O is down and out. We got to step up even more. O is gone. I have to say here that I am super impressed with how much emotion these guys share, how they seem to care for each other and play for each other, and they are comfortable expressing their fondness, their love for each other. They say, I don't know how many times I've heard from those guys and that locker room and that culture, I've heard them say, I love you. So rare to hear, and you don't hear that from men, really, and you certainly don't hear it in football, really, and in no way do you hear it with regularity, and it's so prevalent, but it doesn't feel forced or artificial. It feels like there's a genuine care for each other, that there's something bigger than the self there, that there really is a kinship there that they can tap into, and that starts with the culture builder, and that is Sean McVay. But I digress. Once Odell went down, you felt like the Rams just needed to steady themselves. They still had the lead, and you just needed to weather the storm. And right away, Stafford goes to his third tight end, Bryson Hopkins, for 16. First down. But after the Hopkins first down, there was a false start and a run stuff. And on 3rd and 14 from the Cincinnati 43, Matty from the D is in empty shotgun. And when there was nothing there initially, he decides to go off script and scramble. And I saw, it looked in my mind's eye, it was as though I was seeing it in slow motion. With his left hand, he pointed. And then he clutched and hurled it on the run. And it seemed as though it floated for a bit and then fell well short into the hand of the defender. Poltergeist strike! Poltergeist strike! Just like that. And I knew it was coming when I saw him point. You see, who was he pointing to? The receiver? Doesn't he know that the defender can see that pointing too? Interception. Cincinnati ball. And this was one of the lighter moments, the celebration right after the interception, when one of the Cincinnati, inactives in slides and shorts, not in uniform at all, just came running out onto the field, into the end zone, celebrating the Super Bowl interception of the Poltergeist. 15 yards. You don't have a uniform on, sir. What are you out there jumping around for? I guess he figured it's a Super Bowl. Mama, look at me. The Poltergeist has been picked and I'm in the end zone with my slides. Okay. I don't blame McGenius for that. McGenius has shown prudence and balance and resolve. But when it's not there, doctor, you don't point out to the defender where you're throwing it and then throw short. That's heinous, sir. Just despicable. A poor Super Bowl display. And that, along with the awful showing by Hands of Stone, cost you the Super Bowl MVP, because they always want to give that to the quarterback, who wins. But, hey, that pointing interception, they were like, no, there's no way. But at the time, I'm like, this man's gonna cost us the Super Bowl. So, hey, the man's running off schedule and decides he's going to be a hero and point out where the ball's going and then throw short. Okay. Wow. Let's move on. OBJ's done. And Cincinnati gets the ball first out the tunnel. And on first down, first play of the second half, Joe Burrow scorches, sets afire, lights ablaze, burns up human combustion, scorches him, torches him, ashes scattered. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And then it was like, well, look, show the replay again. Let me see that. And as it turned out, why, there was a pretty flagrant face mask penalty there. That's offensive pass interference. How you could be in the Super Bowl and all of the refs miss that? And that brings up an interesting question, because they're always tinkering with the rules. There should be a mechanism by which you can challenge calls that aren't made, right? So if there's a flagrant offensive pass interference where a guy takes the guy's face mask and flips him out of bounds and runs past him and scores, and for some reason none of the refs call it, the coach should be able to challenge it, have New York or wherever the video headquarters is, have them look at that and uphold that challenge and call that, even if the refs blow it. Put that on your next conference schedule. Addendum. NFL. All right. So, there you have it. And now, Cincinnati has, just like that, suddenly taken the lead of the Super Bowl. 17-13 on a 75-yard touchdown bomb, aided by flagrant offensive pass interference. And that is why I say to the Cincinnati fans, stop all that whining and whimpering and that was a ticky-tack call in the fourth quarter and they shouldn't have called that. Listen, you got away with murder on that touchdown, okay? So you are in no position to be bitching about the refs, okay? Because if it were not for the refs, you wouldn't have gotten that 7. That should have been called back. So I don't want to hear all that, well, the refs blew it in the fourth quarter. Well, they blew it right there, too. And that gave you 7. And the same people who are whining about the refs in the fourth quarter, why do they never say, I wish they would have called the offensive PI too? They don't say that, do they? But I digress. All right. So now, suddenly, the Rams are behind, and the momentum has completely switched sides. And LA gets the ball back, and they want to come out, and they want to stem the tide and restore order. And McGenius is throwing with Matty from the D. And right out of the gun, with momentum now rolling with the Bengals, the pass is thrown. First down thrown to Heatherstone. Consonants throws one stony fist out at it, and it ricochets up, and it's picked. Interception. Poltergeist strike. But I don't blame Polty for that one. I blame consonants, hands of stone. The dude can't catch. And that is another, I would say you have to say, that is another example of resilience and of being able to overcome and outlast attrition. Because the Rams were down to their third tight end, their fourth, fifth wide receiver. That Bryson Hopkins played as well as he did, Kendall Blanton as well as he did, that they relied so much on consonants. It just shows how much injuries take a toll. And so kudos to the Rams that they were able to survive having to play with that level of personnel. So now it's starting to really look worrisome. Second interception now. Cincinnati with the ball. The Rams, they seem a little disoriented. They seem like they've been stunned. That fight analogy. They've been hit by the three-piece and it stunned them and their eyes are rolling in their head a little bit. So Cincinnati takes over on the LA 31-yard line. Now on the broadcast, Collingsworth mentioned that Matty from the D has a couple dubious distinctions. Now, we all know he led the league along with rookie Trevor Lawrence in interceptions. But what you don't know, what you may not know, is that he also leads the league in dropped interceptions. That is, interceptions that he's thrown that if the defender simply holds on to as a pick, but for whatever reason, they drop it. And there is a category for that. And the leader in the NFL in dropped interceptions is none other than Dr. Julio, Mr. Hide the Ball from him, Matty from the D, the poltergeist, with 12. He has 12 dropped interceptions. So if you combine that with his regular season total of interceptions and his playoff interceptions, he's got nearly 40 total interceptions. This is where the story starts to take its turn. Because this is where the LA defense really starts to rev up. Now on a 3rd and 3, Aaron Donald sacks Burrow. This is 80-99's second sack of the game. And it does force a field goal. It's 2013 Cincinnati. Akers again is stuffed on a first down run. LA at this point is 13 for 28. 13 carries for 28 yards on the ground. Henderson by far has been the best of the 3 running backs, and yet that's not saying much because none of them are averaging over 2 yards a carry. So, McGenius tries a little trickeration of his own, his version of the Philly special. I'll call it the Inglewood special, but it wasn't Ingle good. It was bad. Cup comes around and throws an errant pass to Matty from the D, who, fortunately for him, didn't have a play on it because the defender was right there to light his ass up if he would have got his hands on it. So that might have been the best thing he could have done, Super Cup, was throw that over Matty's head. But it was a broken Philly special, and it didn't look good at all. But the Rams the Rams do get themselves in the field goal range and tighten the score to 20-16. 20-16, Cincinnati. Cincinnati and LA trade punts. On 3rd and 7, Stafford steps up into pressure, steps into the sack. LA has to punt, but Matty from the D gets that ankle pinned. Bryce Perkins is inactive, so Wolford is the only quarterback on the roster after Stafford. You don't want to see that action. I've been warning McGenius about that. But I will say this about Matthew Stafford. He's a tough hombre. The Rams have been compiling sacks. They've been adding up now. And so the defense, the pressure is just starting to become a force that Cincinnati can't overcome on offense. And so Robinson steps up, gets a sack. That's Ram sack number 5. And then Von Miller, Space Cowboy, steps up, gets a sack. That's Ram sack number 6. And so the Rams back on offense. 3rd and 4. Matty from the D, a tough son of a gun. He's back under center, mostly in the gun, I should say. On 3rd and 4, empty gun. Stafford throws high, hands of stone. He has no catchability, no radius. Incomplete. LA must punt again. Another 3 and out. And so McGenius has shown great balance and patience and resolve and restraint. But damn, I'm thinking you are going to have to chuck it, man. I mean, chuck it. Because there's just nothing going on the ground. So, 1st down. Cincinnati has the ball again. Run gash. Mixon. Now, Burrow has been sacked a record 7 times now. A Super Bowl record tying 7 times. But if Cincinnati can run late, they still got a chance, see? It's the 4th quarter. It's the Super Bowl. So now, the stage is set. It's a Super Bowl. It's the 4th quarter. The clock is ticking. It's under 7 minutes left in regulation. Cincinnati is up 20-16. And they got the ball. It's 3rd and 9. And right now, this has become the biggest 3rd down of the game. Burrow throws, and it's dropped by Tyler Boyd. Dropped, incomplete. And Cincinnati has to kick. They have to punt, and that's Boyd's first drop of the season. What a time for it. And they kick the ball back to the Rams, and there's life. And now there's 6:13 left to go in regulation in the Super Bowl. And this will be the drive. Really, it's the cup drive. But it's a thing of beauty because inside of the drive is contained the pass. So let's just go through it. It's 6:13 to go in the 4th quarter, and the Rams have the ball on their 22-yard line, and they are trailing by 4. Thank you, Johnny Hecker. And so the field goal won't help them. And so there's a 9-yard completion to Bryson Hopkins, but then incomplete, and that sets up a 3rd and 1. And so Akers gets the ball, but he's short. 4th and 1. 4th and 1. And now here's the game. What do you do? 4th and 1. And you can see later in the mic'd up, McGenius is like, oh, what do I do? It's like, oh, what do you do? But there's only one answer. You got to go for it. And he chooses correctly. And on 4th and 1, from the Rams' own 30-yard line, Sean McGenius goes for it. And the play, critical. What will be the play to call? Because you fail here, and you most likely are going to lose the Super Bowl. And so here it is, 4th and 1, for all the money. Cooper Kupp lines up in the X and then goes in motion to the Y and then goes in motion again, and they hike the ball, and it's the jet sweep around. He makes the perfect cut, slices, first down plus more, and the drive continues. And now you feel like, yes, we are going to pull this out. First down. The chains are moving. 4:30 left in regulation. Nothing, the hands are stone. But 2nd and 10. Complete to Soup. Now 3rd and 2. Complete to Hopkins. No huddle. Got your hurry up on. Now from the gun, Stafford throws short to Akers. 2nd and 7. And now, here it is. The pass. The no look. Stafford complete to Super Kupp. 22 yards. First down. But you couldn't see it on live TV. Unless you were really, really tuned in and zoned in, you had to see it later in the highlights. The no-look pass. OMG. With 3 minutes to change left, just minutes left in the Super Bowl. And with LA down 4, Matthew Stafford throws the most amazing, incredible, ballsiest, cojones of stones, no-look pass to Soup. It's truly astonishing when you reflect on the magnitude of the moment. In the biggest drive of his life, for all the marbles, down the stretch, the game-winning drive with minutes ticking off the clock in the Super Bowl, when they've said that you can't win the big game, when people like me have said you have split personality football disorder, that you're haunted by the poltergeist, at the most critical moment of your life, to be able to throw the no-look pass and to throw it with precision, a perfect dime, a dart right on the money. And he needed to do it. It wasn't just flash, as Cheeky Baby would say. It wasn't just mustard on the hot dog. It was needed. He looked off the defender, Vaughn, I believe it was. He looked him off. And when he froze him, and when he appeared to be throwing in one direction, and then he looked at where the defender was, just magnificent, astonishing, remarkable, really. Because you would think in that moment you would be so concerned with not making a mistake, and because if you get picked on a no-look pass, you'll never live it down. You'll be the GOAT, bad GOAT, for all time into eternity. They'll show that play at your funeral. But you pulled it off, sir. Cojones or stonies. Just remarkable. The precision. So I give him nothing but the highest praise and credit. Then he follows the no-looker up with another dime to Kupp, and it's 2nd down. And now there's only 2:15 to go. And here, Cam Akers plows ahead, finally with a gain for a little over 8 yards. And it's 1st and goal. And we're just at the 2-minute warning. And so it's 1st down from the Cincinnati 8. And Matty from the D throws high to an open Van Jefferson. It wasn't an easy throw, but you would think he could place that throw, but he wasn't able to do it. 2nd down, incomplete. On 3rd and goal, incomplete, but there it is. The ref asserts himself. There's that fairly minor PI call that gives the Rams the 1st down. And I don't want to hear it, Cincinnati. I don't want to hear it. And honestly, it did look like a fairly clean play by Logan Wilson. Maybe a little piece of ticky-tack pulling. But hey, after what you got away with earlier, shh. And so now it's 1st and goal. And on the snap, Stafford rolls, hits Kupp in the end zone. Touchdown. Kupp. Soup gets smashed helmet to helmet. That's a penalty. And there's also another penalty on the offense. And so these penalties offset. And so we have to replay the down. So on that helmet to helmet hit, 24, Von Bell waylays Soup in the end zone. And watch the NFL Films footage of Matty from the D. Ooh, he got heated. He went racing to the end zone. But this is what really got me. Doc charges in. But on his way to the end zone, he's running. He screams out, "You get the fuck out of here." Go back and check the tape. And then he veers left directly toward 24, Von Bell, the guy who hit Soup in the end zone helmet to helmet. And he kept saying, "Was that you? Was that you?" Like he was ready to do something to him, That's how he came on him. Swole up on him. "Is that you?" And I love the fire and the, protect your teammate, and that's your homeboy and your love and brother and all that. But the interesting part in all of it, who was Matty from the D talking to when he told someone or something to get the F out of here? Who was he talking to? Von Bell was over there with Kupp. There was an old ref in the vicinity, but why would he be telling the ref to get the F out of here? No, I suspect he was having the final stage of the exorcism of the poltergeist. Polty was running beside him, and he told him to get the fuck out of here, Polty. And then he went over to Von Bell. "Was that you? Was that you?" And I hope that the poltergeist is gone forever from the palace in Inglewood. And I hope that Doc Julio is free. But after what I saw at the rally stage with the reporter, I suspect Polty is still around. Who was he talking to? It's now 1st and goal from the 4. Stafford in the gun with protection. Rolls out. Pass to Kupp. Pass interference. 1st and goal from the 1. Stafford. Quarterback sneak. Stuffed. 2nd and goal. Stafford rolls out again. Kupp. Touchdown, L.A. Touchdown, L.A. to Cooper Kupp. And now, with 1:25 left to play, the PAT is good. 23-20 LA, 23-20 LA. And the footwork. The Cooper Kupp footwork. I mean, the whole drive was the Kupp drive. But that pass, that no-look pass, stole the show. But on the touchdown, the footwork by Super Cup, it can hypnotize you if you're looking at it. It lulls you to sleep. There's a beauty to it. He drops one foot back and rocks the body and then goes into the break, and there's the stutter move, and then which way is he going? And then by the time he turns out, the ball's already in the air and he contorts and it's touchdown. There's nothing you can do about it. And the only thing left now is for the defense to hold up, do their part, and the Rams are going to be world champions. You can tell Cup must love apples because he ate Eli Apple up. A worthy MVP and a fantastic, historically the greatest wide receiver season in NFL history. Congratulations, Soup. It's up to the defense to seal the deal. Cincinnati has 2 timeouts left and 1:25 left in regulation, trailing by 3. They get the ball and first down immediately. Ashes bites on the out, tries to jump the route, mistimes it, gets gashed, burnt up again, still trying to scatter ashes. This late in the game, torched, scorched, and set ablaze. To the very end. Final drive after ashes has been roasted and toasted again. It was the Wedler, torn pec and all, who factored in a major way. Hit a stop, preventing the first down, forcing a 2nd and 1. And on 2nd and 1, Burrow throws it away, a wasted down, throwing to no one, forcing 3rd and 1. And on 3rd and 1, 80-99. With this magnificent play where he takes on the offensive lineman, Adeniji, number 77, in the run lane. With one hand, he pushes him back. Pirine is flashing through for the first down with that same arm. He grabs him with one and wraps him and pulls him back. Grown-ass man, all 240 whatever pounds of him, pulls him back. What a display of strength. And then, on 4th down, 4th and 1, for all the marbles with the Super Bowl on the line, AD99 lines up outside now against 67 offensive lineman Spain, and he uses the chop swim move. And then he leverages against 73 to get in the crease and get skinny, and all of that in a split second. And he gets to Burrow and spins him and tosses him down, and the ball flutters off like a duck. Harmlessly incomplete, and it's over. It's over. The Rams will win the Super Bowl. What a game. Pretty magnificent. Lots of heroes showed up. People making big plays. LA completes the prediction and becomes world champions. But you gotta give much love, and I've discussed it more in depth in Game Balls, but the Wedler, OBJ, Ashawn Robinson, AD99, Super Cup, Matthew Stafford, Whitworth, giving Hendricks in the business, Vanilla the Space Cowboy, and of course Sean McWonder, the genius, legendary Super Bowl performances. Great job, No Radio Raheem, having that defense ready to play. And so the Rams, in the longest NFL season ever, 17 games, amidst COVID and all the various challenges, the setbacks, blending a new team, and then overcoming their nemesis. LA emerges as the 2021-22 Super Bowl champions of the world. What a story. After the Green Bay loss, they ended up the Rams did 9-1. But that only loss being to them damn Niners. And that loss actually served a greater purpose. And to the good it went as well. And so despite the Rams having only 43 yards on 23 carries, in the end, LA converted their fourth quarter, 4th and 1, and Cincinnati did not. And so AD99 gets his ring, and I'm glad to see it. McGenius gets his Gatorade bath, and Ashawn got him good. And LA gets its championship. After winning just one championship, just one, there's all this talk of retirement. I don't know. I understand now in the case of McWonder, Amazon offered him $100 million to leave. Now, see, I think that's getting ridiculous that the networks who are broadcasting the game start tampering by trying to pluck away the best coaches to come into their booth. Stop it, Bezos. Anyway, McGenius turned him down. And I understand they're working on a new contract for the boy Wonder. And apparently he will be extremely well paid in the very near future if he's not already. They say he's in the middle range of coaches, but he's going to be at the upper echelon, and so will Aaron Donald. So maybe that's what all this retirement talk is about, just positioning. Maybe the agents are telling them, hey, just say you don't know, you got to think about it, to position yourself for a better contract. At any rate, what does the future hold? Well, in my mind, very quickly, I think the future runs through the NFC West when you're talking about the NFC. Now, the AFC is a whole nother matter, and there's no telling who might come out of there, although I predict at this point in time Buffalo. But for the NFC, I think the road to the Super Bowl goes through the NFC West. I don't think you have to worry about them damn Cowboys one little bit or the NFC least. I don't think you have to worry about the NFC South. The coach in New Orleans is gone. The quarterback in Tampa Bay is gone. I don't think you have to worry too much about the NFC North. I don't care where COVID toe shows up. I don't think you have to worry too much about the Cardinals or the Hawks. It's really just them damn Niners. And unless the old gold goes there, or COVID toe, either of those could be troublesome. But short of those two things, I don't really see San Francisco being in a position to overtake what the Rams have built. And so I see the Rams in good position to be back in the Super Bowl again a year from now. And so we will be here to cover the developments in the offseason and other things. But for now, we're going to let the Rams rest on their championship laurels. And I hope you've enjoyed this special episode 50, part C of the trilogy. Throw me a couple of these. And subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to leave me a comment, of course. And in the next episodes, we're going to start to deal with a couple of outside issues, outside the world of sports. And so look forward for the next episodes to come. But for now, it has been a magical ride. And until I see you again on the other side, one love.